Aerosol, good morning, friends. I have one question and one question only for you this morning. If you die tomorrow, would your family know what to do? I want you to stay tuned because this is an important show coming right up.
Aerosol. Hello, friends, and welcome to Shero Coffee Chat. We hope you've had a great week, and thank you for joining us today. We've got a full cup ahead, so grab your Shero coffee, because we're taking a spin around the Shero resource table. Plus, we've got your chat, tip, and guest of the week. Let's give a big shout out to our host, Melissa Farmer Hill, Army combat veteran, host of Shero Coffee Chat, and founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. And now, reporting for duty and ready to lead the conversation, Melissa Farmer Hill.
Aerosol, once again, good morning, friends. I just want to say thank you for choosing to be here today in this time, in this moment. Like I always say, people are always vying for your attention, but I'm glad you chose to share this next 30 to 45 minutes with us here on Shero Coffee Chat. And I hope you've had a great week. There's some stuff I want to talk about. You know, today is May 31st. Yes, it is the end of the Mental Health Awareness Month, if you are not aware. And I just want you guys to know that, you know, mental health isn't something we focus on for the month, right? It's a continued journey because we've been blessed with the emotions and feelings and things like that. And sometimes those wires get crossed and we need help. So I'm telling you, on the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'll continue to tell you throughout the year, if you need help, here are just four little tidbits I want to point out. Contact a crisis professional. You guys, you can just dial 988 and then press 1 if you need to talk to someone now. If you Another thing you can do is text 838-255. That's 838-255. You know, sometimes, you know, you don't want to talk to someone, so text someone. And if you have a friend, the next thing is, if you have a friend, a pastor, a buddy, someone you know, if you're not feeling good, if you just can't help, if you need help just tying a knot at the end of your rope, then reach out to someone. There are people here who on earth that love you. There are people on here who miss you, who need you, who want you to be a part of life. So if you need to, tell someone right away. And then fourth, make sure you make your environment safer. You guys, we know the losses that we experience every year to suicide and things like that. So if you're feeling that way, make your environment safer. Make sure your handguns and things that can be used as weapons are put away, especially if you're not feeling well. Make sure the kids are safe. We want to make sure that you just live to get the help you need. Live to get the help you need. And here I just wanted to put this out at the end of our Mental Health Awareness Month, that hey, you are valued. And if you're struggling, or you just feeling overwhelmed, or just not feeling like yourself, just reach out and get help. And I just felt as though that was really important, especially coming off of Mental Health Awareness Month. So there you are, you guys. I'll just leave it up for just another second. If you need to dial 988, press 1. If you need to text 838-255, tell someone right away and make your environment safe. That was very important to me. just to let you guys know, one of the things when I think about Shero Coffee Club, and you may have heard me say this before, I think about those women because Shero Coffee Club does represent women. I think about those women who were not able to, like I said before, tie that knot and get at the end of their rope to get the help they need, and they have passed. They either took their life or did something to harm themselves and others, and there's too much help out here for that. And every time I think about Shero Coffee Club, that's one of the things that I remember, to hold these women up in value, to and that's why I love celebrating women. I love honoring women because it's so important to me. Mental health is very important to me. um I don't want to stay on that note. You guys know I'm just a real cheerful person, but sometimes it's necessary. But I am excited. I got some announcements. Do I have those announcements? I don't have those announcements. Maybe I'll get them later. But I am excited to welcome our next guest, and she's talking about something that is important. And like I said in the little teaser, if you die tomorrow, would your family know what to do? Think about that, because death is a part of the circle of life. Right? Death is a part of the circle of life, but we are not going to waste any time, you guys. I am about to welcome our guest on so we can get down to it. All right. You guys ready? Melisha Porter is a licensed funeral director, embalmer, veteran specialist, and president of Grace and Mercy Funeral Services, PC, serving Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. As a United States Navy veteran, she pairs clinical precision with deep reverence to provide families with uncompromising reliability, dignity, and guidance during life's most challenging transition. In addition to comprehensive at need and pre planned funeral service, Melisha is a licensed life insurance agent and a public notary dedicated to empowering communities through proactive legacy management. You guys, Melisha has been on the show, but the show was called something else. It was when Andre and I were hosting the show, but she did come on and she talked about the things that she does. What I really absolutely love about her, besides the fact that she is absolutely beautiful, is that she is serious about her business, and she does it in a way that you feel welcomed. You feel welcome. So if I'm feeling like this and I've never had to use her services, I just imagine what she does for the people that do. She's a straight shooter, and she is definitely bringing value services into the communities in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. And that's why we had to have her. And she's a Navy vet. And hopefully we'll get her on back of one of these coffee bags one day, you guys, okay? All right, you guys, I want to welcome Miss Melisha Porter.
Hello, hello.
Beautiful. How
Thank
are
you. All
you?
right. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's anytime someone says yes, I don't take that for granted, because our time is so valuable now. So I appreciate you. It is a blessing to have you. And every guest we have on, they always bring resources and just valuable information to the table. And you are just one of those people that we love to have as a guest. So this won't be your last time. It's been a couple of years, but I will make sure that we'll have you on more,
Okay.
because what you do is so valuable. Let me just show you. I know we got to do an icebreaker first. I'm trying to get into my little show flow, but our icebreaker is, you guys, when you are a guest on the show, you get some of our coffee or tea. And Melisha has her bag, and I'm gonna let her. Yeah, thank you for showing us your bag. And can you tell me who is the military vet on your bag, and read a little bit about what she says?
Okay, I have the beautiful Beverly Fitch. She's a U.S. Army recruiter. And it says, her quote, joining the Army made me a better Christian. I see the parallelisms between a soldier and a servant of God. It's not about me, it's about serving, encouraging, and impacting others' lives in a positive way. That's a blessing.
That is, and Beverly is also in the Chicagoland area. And let me
Okay.
tell
Hi,
you
Beverly.
guys, and let me tell you guys, she everything she says, it's true. If you meet Beverly, I mean, inside and out, you know that she is a woman of God, and it is a blessing to know her. Every time I talk to Beverly or we have a conversation, it's always uplifting because we can draw to the Lord inside the conversation and lift each other up. So yes, and she is a original Shero Coffee ambassador. So yes, so if you want some coffee, you guys, come on, support Beverly. You can buy Beverly's bag, go to sherocoffee.com. Yes. So thank you. So how are you liking the coffee, Militia?
I like it. I like it. And what attracts me the best is the smell. The
Ooh,
brew
yeah.
smell, that is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I have some wonderful, wonderful brewers, and they're guess what? Roasters. They're right here in Illinois as well. So we
Oh,
try to
okay.
keep it. We try to keep it inside the state, but that's not what
Yeah.
we're here to talk about. But thank you for just having that little icebreaker moment with me. We are here to talk about what would happen if you died tomorrow, and the reason I pulled this up is because here are some startling statistics. Let me pull this banner down so everyone can see, so I can see the slide. So look at this. So about 70% of Americans do not have a will. Nearly half of Americans have no life insurance coverage. Traditional funeral costs between $7,000 to $12,000, and that may not even you'll be able to let us know that. And then over 40% of Americans say they struggle just to cover $1,000 in emergency expenses. And, thousands of veteran families miss out on burial benefits simply because they do not know they exist. Those are some really like eye opening
Yeah.
stats. And I am glad because that's what we're going to be addressing today. So my first question is, so as a funeral director, what have you seen happen to families, when someone passes unexpectedly and they don't have a plan in place?
It's a lot of confusion. The
Mm,
grief is heavier, because it's you're caught off guard. You don't know
yeah.
what to do, and your mind when you're grieving is cloudy. And so when you finally comes to the arrangement table, because everything happens kind of fast after a
Yeah.
passing. So when you get to
Yeah.
the arrangement table without that plan, no one knows what the plan is until they sit down and they're writing that plan in real time. It can be chaotic. It's a lot of fallouts happen at the arrangement table,
Ooh,
unfortunately.
wee.
And I'm there to, my job, and it's not everyone's, but my job and my task as a believer in Christ and knowing that
Mhm.
love covers a multitude of sin, I immediately
Amen.
put on the mediator hat and say,
Mhm.
well, this is how we can do it so everybody is satisfied. Because
Yeah.
what you will see without a plan, everyone comes in and they're the favorite. I
Yeah.
know this person the most, and then the
Right.
other person is sitting on the side, but I was with her all this time. So you try
Yeah.
to make sure that everyone can get a little bit of what they want, because what you don't want them to do is feel less than because they didn't plan ahead. So
Ooh, wee.
it's
That is,
rough.
yeah.
It can be rough.
And then you know what's so surprising, what surprised me, what you said was there's family fallout over this because everyone's thinking like I'm the favorite, and then but you've got this person that's been with them the entire time, and they're probably looking like, so I can see like friction and division
Yes.
among family members, especially when you don't have a plan in place. Maybe he wanted to wear this suit. No, he wanted to wear this. And
Yes.
I mean, how do you hold it all together? I'm stressed
Yeah.
out just talking about
Yeah, that's rough, but you have to
Yeah.
hear them, so when I
Yeah.
start the arrangements, I start the arrangements without the
Mhm.
pen. I just want to hear. I like to
Mhm.
listen. Let me hear the stories,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
way it helps
That's
me with
beautiful.
putting together the celebration of life, because you would think that it's the argument over the clothes. No, it's the argument over the disposition. So and so said they wanted cremation, they told me. So and so said they wanted
Mm.
burial, they told me. So you have to make it make sense for them.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So having said this, so if someone, died tomorrow, and like I said, death is the circle of life, or made their transition, what is the very first thing a family would need to know?
If they experience a loss, the first thing you need to know is
I
you
like that
contact.
phrase, experience the loss. I like that.
Yes,
Okay.
you want to contact your funeral home, a trusted provider. Most families, they go off notoriety. It's good if you
Yeah.
go to someone you know, because
Yeah.
they're a little more gentle, empathetic to your
Yeah.
situation, and they're not trying to help you spend your money.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
want to go to someone that's about celebrating that life. Okay, so the couple of things you're going to need to gather or make sure you have is those important documents. Because, like I
Mhm.
said, when you have grief, your mind gets cloudy. You won't
Yeah.
remember grandma's, grandpa's name or the spelling. They only call him
Right.
Big Earl. You don't
Yeah.
know his legal name. So you want to
Wow.
have those
Yeah.
things together. So
Mhm.
before you go into the funeral home, to ease your stress just a
Mhm.
pinch, just for the moment,
Mhm.
gather that information. Call that relative that you know knows everybody info. Get those things so when you in the arrangement, everything just smoothly flows.
Yeah.
So, and then I also would tell families, don't lead with policy information. When you're calling funeral
Mhm.
homes, don't tell them, hey, I got a policy. No, let's plan. Then we
Yeah.
talk about the way you pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So when you said, because you said documents, and I want to say, what are some of the documents you recommend them having? And then I know you do pre-planning. So can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that too?
Okay, yep. So the documents that
Mhm.
you will want to have is, you want to have information like the Social Security information, vital statistics, meaning their last address, whether they was married, ever in the service, if there was in the service. If they were in the service, you want to make sure you have the DD 214 or at least their Social Security number, because
Mhm.
I have vendors that we can find the DD 214, or we can at least contact the VA to get that information. But it's kind of
Okay.
good if you already have it prepared and ready. Other information you may need, if you do have your policy, you'll have it with you. But like I said, you don't lead with policy information. It's better that you
Right.
plan, you talk about what you want to do, so that way you can ensure that no one's helping you spend your money. Okay, you talk
Yeah.
about monies afterwards, because like I
Mhm.
said, when you're in grief, a lot of things is happening. You have to make all of these intense decisions. So you
Yeah.
want to be careful. You want to be somewhat prepared. When we talk
Okay.
about advanced
Mhm.
planning, just to touch on that, you're locking in today's costs. So you're stopping the inflation costs, because as you've seen in your stats, funeral services between 7 and 12, and actually upward from that number.
Ooh. Mhm.
And it's steady going on the rise. It's steady going on the rise. So with advanced planning, you lessen the burden that's on your loved ones. So those
Mhm.
surviving family members, they now don't have to think about what shall I do for this celebration of life, because the individual already laid it out for me. It's already
Right.
planned. That's the financial gift for you. No
Yeah.
stress there. Only
Yeah.
thing you're doing after that is adding a couple of things that you may want, and that's on your
Mhm.
own, like flowers. If I wanted to change the style of the obituary, I can
Yeah.
do that. But far as the celebration of life is simplified now, because that individual told me exactly what they want and how they want it. So you keep
Okay.
the control. Hmm.
Yeah. I love that. So what do you think the biggest mistake families make when someone passes away? Is it
The
that they
biggest
lead?
mistake.
Mhm.
Go
Mhm.
ahead. What you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is it that they lead when they call you, they lead with policy? With the
Most times,
insurance policy?
well, actually, back to your quote or your stats, most families will call and say he didn't have insurance or she didn't have insurance. So that, I
Ooh.
know it hurts when I hear
Mhm.
them. So you have grief on top of need
Mhm.
and it's and they feel like they could be judged at that very moment because they knew
Mhm.
in their life I should have been prepared, but
Mhm.
life caught me and I'm not. So I try to
Right.
make sure that they don't feel any type of judgment when they call me
Mhm.
saying that they don't have a
Mhm.
policy or anything. I just tell them, okay, well, we can come in, let's put a plan together that fits your budget. So I want you to have everything you want to
Mhm.
celebrate this life, but everything comes with a cost. So we're going to keep costs in
Right.
mind. You let me know your budget, and then I could tell you what type of service we can have within that. So that way, when everything is over, you're not left with a bill.
Okay, so I think like all these questions are running through my head now. It's so everything is like
Go
so
ahead.
you are an embalmer.
Yes,
Let's talk a little bit about that.
the best too. Let me add that.
Yes, you are the best
Yes, yes.
embalmer.
Yes, yes. I really enjoy it. I enjoy
See you
this. And let me
guys,
tell
see
you
what I
why.
said? Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give
Mhm.
you a reason why, because I know everybody on the call, they probably didn't straighten themselves up when you said the funeral director came in the building. And it's not to it's not to scare nobody. And you said it
Right.
best, death is a part of life, it's a circle of life. But I
Mhm,
have to
mhm.
remind everyone, death is not fickle. It does not care what you have going
Mm.
on. Death is
Yes.
not from 9 to 5. It does whatever it wants to do. Okay.
Yes.
So with something that moves like that, yes, it's best to be proactive instead of reactive. But let me tell you why I enjoy embalming, because I
Mhm.
had 15 years in healthcare experience prior to me coming into my
Oh,
ministry,
wow.
which is death care.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I was everything from a certified nursing assistant, emergency medical technician, riding the ambulance, providing pre-hospital emergency
Wow.
care. I did patient care technician, hemodialysis technician, chronic and acutes. So my healthcare, it gave me the tools needed to care for the living.
Yes. Oh,
Care for the
wow.
living. I was the best CNA in the world. They called me Mimi.
Uh-huh.
And my patients knew when Mimi was on the shift,
Oh,
I'm going to get my
wow.
water while my ice is still chattering. My food
Ah,
is going to be warm when it comes. And it didn't have to
right.
be a patient that was mine, that was assigned to
Yeah.
me. I
Yeah.
just felt that it was important. Our seniors, they already served their time,
Yeah.
civilian or veteran. They
Yeah.
served their
Yeah.
time. Why
Yeah.
can't we just serve them? Why? And so I
I
was
love it.
that's my so it goes back to my involvement. I did hospice care when I was doing
Mhm.
CNA at one point.
Okay.
And that part was very rough because you'll get with a family and
Mhm.
you'll get used to them for about that 2 hours, 3 hours, and then the person would expire. So then you'll only have to care for them, like far as
Mhm.
postmortem care, that's cleaning the
Yeah.
deceased up. And my
Okay.
mind was just like, dang, okay, so that's the end. I just got to pray with them and clean them, and that's all. So that's what took me on to the next phase. So I said, okay, well, the ambulance is coming. So I'm going to go to school to be the ambulance. All right.
Right.
And then that wasn't enough. I'm like, okay, but I'm still leaving the family. How do I connect myself where I'm there for you while you living and you see me again at the end so you know that you're never alone? And that's how I got to that point.
So I gotta ask you
Yeah.
because I don't know. I'm feeling like it's something very emotional coming up for me because
Yeah.
I think you
That's
are
good.
such a blessing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow. So in a way, when you think about like when you look over your career, um, or your ministry, uh, do you believe your steps are ordered? And the reason I say that because look at where you started. You do the whole like you have the beginning of life, you have midlife, and then you have the end of life. So you've worked in those crisis
Yes.
situations that could actually bring you to the end of life, and then you went beyond. So
Yes.
do you feel as though that God is ordering your steps? Do you feel as though your purpose to do this? Because I've never heard anyone say, "I love embalming." And because you have to me, you have the depth and the breadth of it all to
Yeah.
carry out what you're doing now. So
Yeah.
how do you feel as though your steps are ordered, and how did that come about? I mean, just talk.
Yes. I feel like it has been ordered. It's a
Yes.
blessing because the Lord allowed me to be there in the beginning to show me how to be humble. and humility to
Mhm.
care for, because as a CNA you have to do everything for the person, and they don't
Yes.
always have to be seniors. It could be
Yes.
someone that's on rehab but they're complete, meaning that they have to be fed and changed and clothed. So for him to allow me to do that, and actually I got my start, I was 13 doing homemaker with my granddaddy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
caring for him, he was blind and it was a double amputee, and to care for him while my grandma was at work, and I'll make him those bacon and egg sandwich. I make a good bacon sandwich, everybody. Just know that. Because we'll be up while she'll work at 11 to 7. And so
Mhm.
caring for him. And then I graduated high school early. My grandma put me through CNA, finished that in 2 weeks. So
Mhm.
I'm caring for people, doing hospice care, then doing the EMT. Okay, I'm taking people to their appointments. I'm getting those pre hospital emergency. Okay, I'm caring for them. And now, Lord, you allow me to care for the shell, to prepare the
Mm.
shell, because the spirit is already gone. Because to be
Yeah.
absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. But He's allowing me
Amen.
to care for the shell that walked the earth. So it's
Oh, wow.
precious to me, because when I have that individual on the table, I'm reminded that life was in here. This
Yes.
person
Yes.
lived. This
Yes.
person lived. They had happy days, they had sad days. Family is missing them. So, me and the deceased, we say, we're going to make sure we look very good for our celebration. And that's how we do it.
Yes.
That's why I say
Oh,
I enjoy
wow.
it.
I'm just loving this conversation, like, really, I am, because it shows. Your phone should be ringing off the hook at all times, because especially after this, because it shows you are passionate, you are
Yeah.
caring, and like I said, you've got the depth and the breadth of it all. But here's, it doesn't stop there,
No.
because you also have your life insurance license. So he keeps just
Yes.
opening doors for you,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
sending you off to different places, but it's the same. You're working in the same field. So tell us a little bit about life insurance.
Okay, so the reason I got into life insurance is
Mm-hmm.
because of those calls when families will call and say, so and so didn't have no insurance, so and so didn't have any insurance. So I got into life insurance because I wanted to make sure that will not be a hindrance to them. You can get
Mm-hmm.
the insurance that whatever your budget can afford. So whether that's term, which is temporary, you
Yeah.
can do whole life,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do IULs, that's
Mm-hmm.
index universal life, but you want
Mm-hmm.
some type of coverage and protection. So me
Mm-hmm.
getting my life insurance, that was me being a dedicated member of my community to ensure
Mm-hmm.
that we come from a place of crisis to a place of
Mm-hmm.
peace. Because people think life insurance is to only bury you. No, it's to
Right.
build that financial legacy. I'm
Right.
big on the wealth gap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that my generational wealth from my family has been started. That foundation has been started with me. So my children see it and then they continue on. Like when
Mm-hmm.
your stats about the wills, you need that will and you need that trust so you can avoid probate court. But the most
Mm-hmm.
important things about having that policy or protection is so that if I was to pass on, my kids doesn't start at zero. They can at
Mm-hmm.
least start at something that if they say, I don't want to do college, I want to do a trade, I have some money there. Or I want to open up this business, I have some money there. You want
Mm-hmm.
to be able to start your foundation or your legacy, give them that jump start so that they continue to build. That way, we can change the conversation at our dinner tables. That's how
Yes,
I
we're
feel about life
I
insurance.
love it. I love it. Wait a minute. I got something for you. I got something for you. I just have to find
Okay.
it. Here it is. You just covered the gamut of how you create legacy for your family, and one way could be through life insurance. But I want
Yes.
to get back, because I want to get back, so to make sure our audience understand the service. Now, you're a funeral director, so tell us the responsibilities of a funeral director, like a day in the life.
So the responsibility, have your phone ready. A call will come at 3, 4 in the morning. You will have to pop up. And my thing, I never like to sound sleepy. I like to always sound alert and oriented.
Mhm.
So when they call in 3, 4 in the morning, I make sure my voice is ready for you. And the compassion is always geared up. It don't matter when you call me. My phone is available for families to call at any time. And you have that extended family member in me because I'm going to be concerned about what you want to do. I want to make sure that you have the clarity and what the plan is and how to move forward. Other things
Mhm.
that the responsibility is to making sure that we remove the deceased from the place of passing in reasonable time. And you want to make sure you do that with dignity and care. So when we're at the family's home, it's never a rush with me. If you take your time, we make sure that everyone is okay before we make that transition because that can be very hard to see, whether that's hospital or at
Yeah.
the home. It's very
Yeah.
hard. And when I'm in the arrangement, the role of the funeral director is to make sure we direct and coordinate the services that you desire to have for your
Mhm.
loved one.
Mhm. And so tell me, so we know you are passionate about your the job. It's not a job, it's really your ministry.
Yeah.
You're passionate about your ministry. We know that you are purpose and very knowledgeable. What is the most challenging thing about what you do?
The most challenging. Uh, what would be the most challenging? For me, I would say the most challenging thing, it would just be with me and my services. What I would say that is the most challenging. It's just getting it out there to other individuals that there is a funeral service provider that's available to families to serve them that's affordable. So
Mhm.
it's a challenge getting that out there because most families, especially in our community, they go to notoriety, they go to
Yeah.
where they know,
Yeah.
but the where you know doesn't know that you have a budget.
Right.
The where you knows, doesn't know that you need these things,
Mhm.
and with grace and mercy, we provide that. So whatever your budget is, we fall at that budget, but then the grace and the mercy comes in because there's some things that maybe you wasn't able to afford, but we feel that it's needed. So we're going to make sure we have that thing for you. It's not just black and white. You only got enough for this and that's it. No, we try to
Mhm.
make sure that we do things for you so that way everyone can be pleased at the end and you can go home feeling like it's well.
Wow. Having said that, I want to go back to your advanced planning. You guys, and if it sounds like I'm repeating, because look at what Melisha just said. It's the notoriety. So you're going to the people you see on television, or you going to someone, someone whom you don't know, someone who just wants to start with the policy first, right? Uh, and clearly, Melisha has presented the case and laid out to you that it's not about that. She's going to take great care of you and your
Yes.
family, especially during this very sensitive time. So let's talk about what people can do prior to that emergency, how you can help them. And I think you talked about advanced planning. So can
Yeah.
we go over that one more time just so our
Yes.
audience know exactly what you can do for them?
Yes. So with advanced planning, actually, if you want to go on my website, that's the Grace and Mercy
Hmm.
fs.com. And
I've
on our
got it.
homepage, you can download our legacy checklist because I do series. It's called Getting Your House in Order. And that's pretty much how to build that foundation to make sure you have things in line. When it comes to advanced planning, if you download that checklist, it gives you all of the documents that's needed that you need to have copied, saved, and your next of kin or your survivor, they know where to find this information because when you are like I said, in the midst of a crisis, your mind goes blank. It gets cloudy. So with advanced planning, that helps because you lessen the burden. You have provided all of those documentations to a funeral home. They have it recorded, they have it saved. So when your surviving next of kin comes in, all they have to do is just say, we experienced the loss of this person, and they already have pre-planned, and we're ready to start those services. So it's best that you pre-plan so you lessen the burden of your loved one, you stop the inflation clock, and you also keeps the control of saying how you want your services carried out. And that's, to me, like I said, a financial gift you're giving to your loved ones because you have already laid out. As you know, as veterans, we have orders, right? The orders
Right.
tell you which way to
Absolutely.
go. That's
Mhm.
exactly what advanced planning is. Pretty much simplified. It
Right.
tells you the roadmap. What do I need to do?
Absolutely. All right. So you guys, I'm going to put these stats up one more time, and let me just take this banner off. All right. Melissa's information is right there too. The number is 773-956-4000. If you want to contact Grace and Mercy directly, there is the Grace and Mercy website. It's graceandmercyfs.com. I've been showing it throughout the broadcast. Again, these statistics, look at them, you guys. About 70% of Americans do not have a will. Nearly half of Americans have no life insurance coverage. The average traditional funeral cost is between $7,000 and $12,000. Over 40% of Americans, they struggle to cover even $1,000 emergency expense, and thousands of veterans of families miss out because they don't even know that they have benefits. They don't even know they have benefits. And let's touch on veteran
Yeah.
benefits during one of your funerals services.
Okay, so that's something that I'm big on. I'm a very big veteran advocate. So, if families, that's one of the questions, a statistic question, have they been in the service? Once we find out they have been in the service, that's when I unlock the door of what they all qualify for. Because the
Hmm.
families may come in and they don't, like you said, they don't know what all that entails. So, once they
Right.
say, yes, they're a veteran, I say, oh, well, do you know they qualify for a free burial at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery? If they're
Hmm.
honorably discharged, they qualify for the honoring. That's the rendering of the flag, the 21 gun salute, the President Memorial Certificate. They qualify for these things. And the families say, oh, wow, I didn't know. Well, yeah, and that's a free service to you. So we can go from a direct cremation to now, let's see if we can maybe do a memorial service where we can have this, have the Navy or the military, whatever that armed force, come in and render honors at the service. And you can then still bury those ashes for free at
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery. So I love to always, when I hear that word, when I hear the answer, yes, that they're a veteran, we pause, pen goes down. Okay, so do you know, do you know what you qualify for? Let me
Right.
help you there. Another thing that I also do for families, like I said, I am a community advocate wanting to bring us from a place of crisis to peace. So those financial assistance, whether you're a civilian or veteran, with public aid, they also give financial assistance,
Hmm.
burial assistance. You have Social Security, they give veteran assistance. I'm sorry, final expense allowances. And then with some VA entities, they will help pay towards the services. You know, you have the Cook County Veteran
Hmm.
Commissioner. They give
VACC.
money. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. They will
Hmm.
give money towards your funeral services. So I try to line out all of the financial opportunities for families, whether they need it or not. It's just I like to give that information up because people don't know unless you tell them. And I
Yeah.
don't gatekeep that information from families.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny that you said gatekeep this week. So last week we had Jane Babcock on, and she's been a veteran service. She's an Army veteran. She's been in veteran services, and we were talking about the benefits that the surviving spouse gets. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I love people that come on the show who don't gatekeep. So
Yeah.
that is the magic word. So guess what? You get another bag. You got another bag of
Hey,
coffee. You
come
got another
on.
bag of coffee coming. You got another bag of coffee coming because
Also,
we are not gatekeepers here. We want to
mm-mm.
give you all the information, but it's something I had wrote some things down, right? So tell us about getting your house in order. Is that a class? Is it what is that?
So it's a workshop. It's a series of workshops that I host at local churches, and I sometimes host them here at the funeral home.
Hmm.
And it's just to like I said, being proactive instead of reactive. So it's the conversation around how do I get myself in line that if anything was to happen to me, my family knows how to pick up the baton
Mhm.
and keep going forward with my legacy. So that is all it is getting your house in order to
Mhm.
prioritize things. We have enough. We just have to make it
Yeah.
important to us. So if we
Yeah.
have the monies to spend on things that's low priority, then we have to think about, let me take some of that and put it where it needs to go. I don't like to bash people because we
Right.
we we know what we want to do in our lives.
Right.
However, we know that it's this thing on the back end that
Mhm.
says death, that we know we got people behind that. So
Yeah.
just look at it that way. When this thing happened, what do they do after that? So
Exactly.
we want to put something in place that my people behind me, even though they are crying and they're grieving, when the sun comes back up, they know that my loved one prepared for this
Mhm. Mhm.
and they love me enough that they put something in place. And to
Yeah.
and my series, I have two scriptures that
Mhm.
helps me to kind of put people in the mind state and space of being proactive. And
Mhm.
that's Proverbs 6, verse 6 and 8, when the Bible tells us to be like the ant. Why
Mhm.
did he tell us to be like the ant? The ant was proactive, right?
Right.
So the
Right.
ant, with having no guide, no overseer, no ruler, he provided his meat in the summer and gathered his food in the harvest. So even
Mhm.
though he had it and it was time to eat and chill, put your feet up, he still wanted to work. He still needs to make sure that when if a rainy day comes, I'm covered on that one. And
Yes.
that's what it takes to be proactive in your community. And then you have Proverbs 13, verse
Mhm.
22, the inheritance. This is the
Right.
one right here. This
Mhm.
is the getting your house in order mantra. Okay. He
Uh-huh.
says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
Mhm.
That was
Mhm.
phenomenal. Because you know why? A true legacy is leaving an organized roadmap and financial clarity. It
Yes.
only makes sense. So if the
Yes.
Bible told us in two parts why do we should be proactive, then that means that we have to now reevaluate our lives real quick.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
let me look at my budget. Do I have $50 that I can put to the side for this thing? I
Yeah.
think we can find it. I think we
Mhm.
can. And even if I don't, let me write out what I need. Because even for those who can't afford it at this time, at least
Mhm.
write it out or have the conversation. The
Yeah.
next gathering, let's just talk about it. It's a topic, but it's
Mhm.
necessary because death is
Yes.
inevitable.
It absolutely. So, do you only do these workshops at churches?
Oh no, I can come out wherever to do the workshops.
Okay, I've got my brain going here. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to know because I mean, people don't think about this
No.
until it happens.
And that's where you get the call at need. You
Right.
have pre-need, which is
Right.
advanced planning, and you have at need, meaning the
Mhm.
crisis is now. I don't have
Right.
no more time to plan because it's now. Who wants to be caught like that?
Right.
I don't. I
Mm,
like to be prepared just a little bit.
just a little bit. So
Just a little
yes.
bit.
So I love that pre-need and at need. And we want to be in
Yes.
the pre-need on the pre-need side, right?
Yes.
Not
Yes. Because
at
you can
need.
breathe. You
Right,
can
right.
breathe.
And you
The at
can too a
need, I
little
have to
bit.
decide. Yeah.
And it makes it a whole lot easier for you to support that family as well.
Yes.
Yes, we definitely, you guys definitely have to go to. I'm going to put this up again. There you go. You can reach out to Melisha. You can reach out to her. Talk about the things you are not talking about with your family. Go to the website. If you go to the website, you can find out where she's having a workshop. But don't you worry. Shero Coffee Club is definitely planning to put together a workshop in the Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana
Yes.
area because the beauty is even if you don't qualify for life insurance, you still qualify for the advanced planning. Guess what?
Yes.
And it saves you guys money over time. It helps you pre-plan so you won't be at need. And we
Yes.
don't want to find ourselves at need. All right. So let me remove that. All right. So guess what? Remember I told you 45 minutes? We're about at 45
Okay.
minutes because this is this topic is so important.
Yeah.
So many people get caught, with their pants down, and like you said, they are at need, and we
Yeah.
don't want that, you guys. We don't want that. So you can lessen the burden for your loved ones. So you need to contact Melisha. You need to contact her. You need to go to the website. There's the website right there, graceandmercyfs.com. And if you want to talk life insurance, guess what? She knows how to do that too. She
Yes.
knows how to do that too. All right, Melisha, thank you so much for just coming on the show. What we're about to do now, I am going to pull myself from out the camera. I want you to look at the camera, talk to our audience, and say whatever's on your heart. When you're done, I'll come back up and we'll just say goodbye to everyone. There you
Okay.
go.
I want to say to everyone, just thank you for just taking the time to listen. I'm hoping that you've picked up a few things and that if you do need anything, that you contact me, your life insurance agent, as well as your licensed funeral director and embalmer for Illinois, as well as Northwest Indiana. I can be reached at 773-956-4000. Well, let me give you a story before we depart, okay? A wise man once told me, the lie and the truth, they went for a swim one day. And while the truth back was turned, the lie jumps out of the water and dresses himself up in the truth's clothes and run off to town. When the truth gets out of the water and realizes what the lie has done, he said, before I dress myself up in a lie, I guess I'll go to town naked. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the day he became the naked truth. And the truth is, if you died tomorrow, would your family know what to do? The answer would be, if they had a plan, yes. So it's best to plan, and it's always good because we learned the 5 P's in school. Because my daddy, he's a Air Force veteran. He passed away, but Air Force veteran. They said proper preparation prevents poor performance. Okay, so we want to always be prepared because you want to always know what's in front of you. All right. And then you're showing those behind you how to move forward accordingly. So it's always good. And like I said, if you cannot afford life insurance, that's fine. You can always do final expense, advanced planning. That can always have some type of protection for your family. Just let's put a plan in place and let's move forward. And then if you need my services, there's no problem if it's pre-planned or at need, if it's notary, if it's just to talk. If you're grieving and you need someone to talk to, we have aftercare services. We have chaplains that's available for you. We're full all around funeral service establishment, readily and available to assist you. I love having the conversation. I could talk all day about life insurance and funeral directing. So again, if you guys need me, I am Alicia Porter with Grace and Mercy Funeral Service. Blessings to you.
And you know what? I don't have to say anything after that, but I just want the audience to know, here at Shero Coffee Chat, we want to inspire better living. And that's
Yeah.
all we want to do. And we do it through partners like Melisha. Look what I know you got nuggets because I got notes full of nuggets right here. Again, just go to her website. Make sure you find out where her event is next because you want to get your house in order. And we want to be pre-need people, not at need. She'll take care of the at need too.
Right.
But you know what? Lessen the burden. Show your family you care by doing the pre-planning or the advanced planning. And do not forget the two scriptures, Proverbs 6:8, and then Proverbs 13:22. Go read it today. Again, thank you for helping us inspire better living, Melisha. We absolutely love you and think you are amazing. And you guys, next week, someone will be on here to give you inspired living. But thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All righty, bye. I have
Bye
to
bye, everyone.
get my assets in order. Let's
Yes.
see. All right.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Hey there, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this week's Shero Coffee Chat. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button so you never miss what's coming next. And hey, make sure your weekday begins with Shero Coffee, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. You can visit us at sherocoffee.com. We'll see you next week right here on Shero Coffee Chat and have a blessed week.